Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Just Born Movies, where we take movies directly out of the Hollywood womb and dissect them for you. I'm your host, David Wray, and to my right joining me is Paul Workman, the man of constant hatred. And to my left is Manny Classic.
What up?
Paul, what did we see this week?
We saw Upgrade.
And Manny, what is Upgrade all about?
Upgrade's about a guy and his wife who get into a car accident. He is then turned into a quadriplegic and gets a computer chip that allows him to move.
So yeah, the guy who gets paralyzed, the character name of Gray Trace, played by Logan Marshall Green. And he's pretty much the only character we care about in this series. We get Aaron, who's kind of the guy who created the chip, and we get a police detective.
Yeah, and his mom.
Yeah, and his mom. So that's it, 4 characters. There are other characters whose names are thrown away.
He has a wife.
Yeah, Ash.
Asha.
Yeah. But again, she shows up a few times as a projection of his psyche, but not really as a main character.
Because she's murdered after the car accident.
Yeah.
And
When he's quadriplegic.
and then
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we do get a 5th character. We get the computer chip itself, which STEM, which we actually we see it as a chip, and then we get a nice voiceover for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
As a voice in his head. So, Manny, what were your expectations going in?
I tried to go in as blank as possible, but for the most part, I was really expecting a lot. You and I both play pen and paper RPGs. There's another nerd thing for you.
Yep.
So it sounds very close to the entire basis for Shadowrun.
Yes.
Which is a very popular system for you guys and gals out there who don't play.
Cybernetic enhancements.
Cybernetic enhancements in a pseudo-dystopian future that is still set in the United States. So, going into it, I was like, wow, that sounds a lot like Shadowrun. I really like Shadowrun. So, yeah, that's where I was at. I was hoping for a good movie based on expectation, but honestly, a lot of movies that deal with weird computer chip, hackers, revenge plots don't necessarily work out.
Hardcore Henry.
Johnny Mnemonic. I love you, Keanu Reeves. Don't feel... I'm sorry.
We give you some love a little bit later down the line.
In a couple weeks.
So
yeah.
Stick around for the Speed 2 Cruise Control review.
Whoa. Yeah, I think that's a solid way to look at it. I mean, I kind of tried to go in as blank as possible. I'd seen I think I maybe seen the trailer twice. And I was like, okay, this could be interesting. But yeah, I kind of had low expectations, just given what kind of marketing was around it too. Obviously it wasn't getting the marketing as even the other movie we saw this week, Adrift. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's safe to say that there wasn't a high expectation from the film house on this.
My initial reaction when seeing this trailer was, this shit looks bananas. BANANAS. So that's pretty much all I thought going in.
Yeah. So we're going to start with the thorns here. Paul, what didn't work for you?
Some of the acting's real wooden. Honestly, some of the dialogue's a little cheesy. In some pretty bad ways, not some in kind of fun ways, some in pretty bad ways. I didn't like a lot of the back and forth between him and Stem. It took up too much film time. Like, I would have rather Stem just like telling him what to do and him doing it, but a lot of it just felt real hokey.
Manny, you're nodding your head over there, so looks like you
so
agree.
Besides that, without giving too much away, the ending felt forced. Like it's unfortunately predictable when you start realizing what's going on, so it just kind of felt forced, but in a way in which the movie thought it was a shocking twist, but to the audience it's just not. So it it really felt out of place.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
I wasn't like within the first few minutes. I was like, all right, I had narrowed things down pretty quickly, and by the time certain other events had happened, I was like, okay, I know where this is going.
Yeah. That's not to say the journey to the destination wasn't fun,
Which it is.
but the destination itself, like, it's like driving into the Grand Canyon, then you get to the Grand Canyon and realize it's just a hole in the ground.
I think some of it was well shot in the choreography for fight scenes. Some of it was very 80s action, like very a lot of their fights felt very choreographed in some ways.
I really like the way this film was shot. I had a lot of fun with a lot of the camera angles.
Yeah, no, I like the camera angles. I'm talking about the fight choreography itself.
I mean,
that to me was
okay. One of the things that worked for me is I really like the main character. I like the way he physically embodied himself, and I thought he did a really good job. The way that he moves so blocky whenever Stim is in charge of him made those action sequences make sense to me.
Yes.
The way that it looked choreographed, because it's a computer plotting out what the next move is going to be, and him moving in a really blocky computery way. And I thought that worked as far as the fight sequences, and it made the fight sequences interesting and fresh. And the way that it was shot whenever Stim was in charge of him, the way it kind of looked like a first-person shooter almost, but not particularly.
It was more like over the shoulder.
The second person would, however that went, and the way the fight scenes are shot is just amazing.
The trailer has what is effectively the first major fight scene in it, and like him clearly looking like, oh shit, what is going on?
Yeah.
As it is going on. It's almost the way that he looks throughout the entire movie. At some point he starts to realize, like, oh, this is what Stem is doing. So he doesn't look as confused, but you always get that feeling throughout the entire movie, like, I don't know what there's stuff happening.
He really plays the fact that he's not in control of his body to just
he does a great job.
The expert conclusion. He looks awkward through the entire film, and it works. And
he tries to be like that Spider-Man quippy a few times, and the humor of it works because he's reacting to, oh, my body just did that. Yeah. Let me say something so they think it's actually me.
You didn't know that I'm a ninja.
While I am state-of-the-art, I am not a ninja.
His choreography, I didn't mind. I was talking about like the other people, I think is what I'm talking about. The people that were supposed to be fluid and reactionary. I felt like theirs were the ones that I didn't care for.
But again, he's fighting a bunch of dudes who are also rewired and have a lot of computer parts in them, and they all have gun arms, which is the most insane part of this movie.
Is it the most insane part about this?
Probably not, but they all have gun arms, and it's hilarious.
Based on the way that they have to make sure to cock their arm, it's the best. Dudes just walking down the street, just flexing. Got him.
Yeah.
And then the one scene, you see the one dude just like loading fucking bullets into his arm.
Shotgun
it's
shells.
So good. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, he gets done and he just...
It is one of the best episodes of Black Mirror.
Totally explains Roman Reigns.
There were things that worked for me in this movie. Like his wife and the detective, their acting was really well done.
Yeah.
I liked them.
I was a big fan of his wife in Misty Knight, so yeah.
Yeah.
But I liked those characters. I liked the way he portrayed his character. Like when he first... From the entirety of the movie. Like when we first meet him, he's this guy who works with his hands, becomes a quadriplegic. Obviously, I'm not in that boat, but I can imagine that is earth-shattering. That is life-shattering. Your wife gets killed, and now you're a quadriplegic, too.
Yeah, it's like
especially because you both survived the car accident.
Yeah, they set these two character points up as pretty much his entire character, and then his entire character is taken away.
Anything else that didn't work for you guys or worked for you guys in this film?
The violence is just over the top at points.
Yeah. In a gratuitous BlumHouse, funny, almost humorous. Oh my god! Type of way.
In an almost trauma kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, more trauma, please.
So with that said, coming out of the theater, what were your final thoughts coming out?
Like you said, pretty effectively, it's maybe like a 3-person show. Main character was great. Stem was okay as a character, if not too back and forth. Like, it's a computer that can literally just take over his body, so I don't know why every single time it wants to do something, it's like, hey, we're gonna die, but I'm gonna ask for your permission anyway. Maybe you want to die, but I don't. I thought visually the movie looked slightly better than average. A little dark at times in terms of cinematography and stuff like that, but it almost reminded me of like 89 Batman dark. It was still very visually appealing and things like that.
They definitely did a good job with hints at their world building without cramming it down your throat. Like, we get these really nice houses that, like, where he lives in because of what his wife does, and then you've got the slums.
Yeah,
and they're very different dystopian mentality.
Where they end up crashing at the beginning of the movie almost reminds me of the Beggar's Alley from the '97 Spawn.
Yeah,
there's like a bunch of dudes around this one fire.
Just like a New York tent city. Yeah.
I thought the music was fine, if slightly underwhelming. I don't remember a lot of the music in this film.
It was that real driving, like, 80s.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
It's almost like the stuff out of Kung Fury.
I was trying to think,
that movie's brilliant.
It sounds a lot like Daft Punk's Tron Legacy soundtrack.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Oh god, that soundtrack's so good.
So, the overall, I thought it was, overall, on our scale, I'm going to say it's a damn average movie, close to damn great, but there's too many inherent flaws with kind of the way the characters interact for me to give it a damn great. Also, yet again, I think it's a movie that I won't be talking about in a week or two. It's another action movie. So,
right.
So before you give your rating, I have a question for you.
Okay.
You can only watch one again. Are you watching Upgrade or Hurricane Heist?
I'd rewatch Hurricane Heist.
That was my question.
I love Hurricane Heist.
Yeah, I think Hurricane Heist was a better.
It's the cheesiest goddamn movie so far.
I think it was a more fun movie.
Yeah, it's as dumb as it needs to be. And Hurricane Heist was more self-aware, where this film thought it was being deeper and more important. If they would have leaned more into the grindhouse aspect of it, I think it could have been a lot more fun. If it's self-aware, I think it could have been damn great, and we would have been talking about it. But at the same time, it definitely tries to throw this like I said earlier, it tries to throw this Black Mirror, like, this is what technology is leading towards, and it feels real empty. So because it's not as self-aware as it could have been, and because it definitely tried to be more culturally relevant than it is, it's also getting a damn average for me.
Yeah, I think you hit exactly what I was going to bring up, was that whole, we're going to talk about technology and how we're so integrated with it, and then we're going to try to make these big statements and not do a very good job of it. Yeah, overall, fun action sequences, gratuitous violence, a solid lead. But yeah, there were inherent flaws in how this was executed overall, which keeps it from being damn great. So I'm also going to go damn average with this. Well, there you have it. 3 damn averages from us here at Just Born Movies. I'd like to thank Paul, Man of Constant Hatred, and Manny Classic. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think of the movies down below. If there's a movie coming out that you're excited about that we might not be talking about, let us know. Who knows? It might make it onto the schedule. Also, feel free to go over to patreon.com/drinking age movies, where we're looking to get some funding to start some more activities and more original content for you guys. As always, thanks for watching and keep rolling.